We all have an Uncle Sam in our life, like a parent, a partner, or a friend who tells us to do something without actually explaining why we should. But we all want to know what we're doing, especially when it comes to our money. When you don't understand something like investing, it makes it far more difficult to part ways with your hard-earned money. So let's understand investing better by meeting George and Sally. George is 21 years old, and Sally's 57 years old. Both are at completely different stages of life, with George about to start his career. After graduating from college with a biomedical engineering degree, George is on course to be making $60,000 for a starting salary. On the other hand, Sally is coming to the end of her career and is fast approaching retirement, while currently making a $100,000 salary. Both have asked if they should begin investing. George's parents have told him that he should start investing and saving for retirement, but he doesn't know why he should start now, if retirement is so far away for him. Sally knows what investing is, but she's nervous that she's too late to begin. Despite George and Sally being at different stages of their lives, they should both begin investing. Investing is the easiest way to build wealth. Even though Sally hasn't begun investing, she's been allocating the majority of her income towards paying off high-interest debt. She's totally debt-free and has built up savings worth around $150,000. Both George and Sally should want to begin building wealth, because with money, they'll have choices, and with choices, they'll have freedom. Freedom should be the ultimate goal that they should be striving for in life. George has a passion for biomedical engineering, but he also has hobbies and passions that he would love to spend more time exploring, such as woodworking and fishing. Sally would love to go part-time to spend more time with her grandchildren, but that's not feasible for her at the moment. Sally would also love to see the world, and is worried that she may not be able to in her post-retirement years. And with retirement age creeping up on her, she would love to spend more time doing what she loves with the people she loves. George and Sally have goals to achieve, but the lack of financial freedom in their lives is holding them back from pursuing them. A common misconception that you might hear a lot is that money can buy you happiness. Money can't buy you happiness, but with freedom, you'll be able to manage your time better by spending your time with the people or completing the activities that make you happy. With freedom, George and Sally would no longer have to trade their time for money. Instead, they'll be able to control and manage their time, going fishing, traveling, and spending precious time with grandchildren. Whatever they daydream about in their 9-to-5, with financial freedom, it can become their reality. In a fast-paced world which barely leaves you enough time to breathe, financial freedom can help you make the most of your time. Achieving financial freedom is no easy feat. It takes hard work, discipline, and consistency. The system we live in is purposely designed to be rigged against you. It wants you to stay broke, living paycheck to paycheck to keep you working every single day. It's evident from the gap between wage and property values, making it difficult for people like George here to get on the housing ladder. The amount of interest that credit card companies charge to keep Americans in debt is crazy, preventing people like Sally from building wealth, because she spent such a long time paying off crippling student loans and high-interest credit card debts. However, for most, investing is the answer to beating the system. You can't beat the system on savings alone, because inflation will devalue your savings through purchasing power. Purchasing power is the amount of goods and services you can buy with the money you have. So when inflation brings the price of goods and services up every year, you can afford less now than you could the year before. Let's take a look at an example by using Sally's $150,000 savings. On average, inflation is roughly 3% every year. So 1 year later, Sally's $150,000 is now worth $145,500 in purchasing power. Let's take another look at that example, but this time with an 8% inflation rate, as that's the current inflation rate that Americans face today. Sally's $150,000 1 year later is now worth $138,000. That's an astronomical $12,000 lost in savings, just by Sally letting her money sit there in her bank account. By that example alone, it's clear that the only thing that can outpace inflation is investing. There are many ways for George and Sally to invest, but the most common is by long-term investing in the stock market. A profound investor, Warren Buffett, once said, "If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Buffett is referring to the way that he made the vast majority of his wealth through compound interest by investing in the long term. Compound interest, as Einstein puts it, is the eighth wonder of the world. Despite Sally's age to begin investing, Sally has a 10-year time horizon for her money to be compounding before she reaches the traditional retirement age. 10 years ago, if Sally had invested in the S&P 500 index fund, she would have made a 152.5% return on her money. For example, if Sally had invested $100,000, that would turn into $252,500. If George and Sally both started investing from today until retirement, who would have more by retirement, do you think? Well, let's take a look at the numbers. George has 46 years compared to Sally's 10 years before they reach retirement, but Sally has little expenses and a higher salary, which means that she's able to put more towards investing than George. Let's say Sally is able to invest $5,500 a month, while George is only able to invest $1,000 a month, because after 20 years, George plans to go part-time. But he maintains his investing amount until the traditional retirement age. George and Sally both invest in the S&P 500. After 10 years, Sally is retiring with around $1.1 million worth of investments. George, on the other hand, after 46 years of compounding, is retiring with just under $10 million worth of investments. And if you thought that was amazing, then be sure to hit that like button. In the end, they both retire comfortably by reaching millionaire status. But by highlighting George's potential retirement nest egg, it shows what the power of compounding can do to your money. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow and compound over time. Learning about investing is hard, but it's easier when you understand some of the terms I've mentioned in this video better by watching this video here.